Hey guys, welcome back. And you know this is your girl D, and you know what I mean. Yeah, I'll be clocking the T. Anyway, today I just want to touch on a very important something that right now is election season. I know everybody got some good stuff to say. Like if you're a particular race, you owe some political party your loyalty, and if you don't go there, you're disloyal. You know, all the good stuff. That's it. So today I said, listen, let me put myself on the burner. Yes. So I decided to put myself on the burner. So I will talk about me, a little about me. Now, I'm a black woman, a proud black woman. Yes, I am. I love my blackness. I won't trade my blackness for nothing. But with all of that, I love every other race just as equal. Okay? Just as equal. I love everybody. You got to do me something personally for me to have a personal problem with you. You understand? You attack me, I'm coming full force. But other than that, I'm not coming after nobody because of a race. Okay, let's put the one aside. So now, you know, during this election season, a lot of people think, somebody betrayed somebody because they didn't vote for some particular party because they same race with the political party, whatever, and it's going on. A lot of people would get attacked for it and so on. So let me share a little about me. I grew in a home, a black home, where you know growing up, is PNC. PNC, Bornum. That's why I know growing up. But growing up as a child, I had a lot of Indian friends. I had Indian friends over the road that we used to dance. I remember we used to be dancing Indian song, we acting Indian movie, and all this good stuff we be doing. You understand? But with all of as my, grandparents and everybody was PNC, we could have intermingle with other race. Other race used to come over at our house. We had this girl named Gita growing up. Gita always lived in the house. It only left for Gita bring her clothes. Gita eat. Gita everything. Gita with us, right? So as much I grew in a home, as much as I see my grandparents, my parents is PNC, lean to PNC. It did not affect race. You understand? It didn't come to racism. It didn't come to that. There's the support that, but we were free to mingle and intertwine, twangle, and all these things, all the good stuff. So anyway, as I reach of age, you continue as everybody is continue, where your parents do. So at one time I start, supporting the PNC and whatnot, the good stuff, supporting them. I remember, I remember, once I was a young girl, I think I went to a protest and so on, you know, the good stuff and thing. So as the years go by, you know, I decided, to choose different. No, choosing different is not because I'm in a relationship with an Indian person. I choose different because my mind start I start developing a mindset of thinking for myself. Thinking, choosing for myself, and not because my parents do something, my grandparents do something, I have to do it. So I grow up and I start thinking for myself. So I says, okay, and I start like moving away. First thing I do is move away from the old political thing. I say, okay, I'm not voting, I'm not getting involved with that and everything. So I move, away from the old thing and so on. Anyway, as the years go by and so on, I get, what was it? Yes, I went back supporting the PNC. I think I went back. Yes, I went back. Eventually, went back into political things, supporting the PNC. Why I said the PNC? The PNC. I don't remember with APNU now, the PNC. I went back supporting the PNC. You know, support, election come, you support and whatever. And that's it. Then I, as years go by and so on, I start to support, the PPP because, throwing my support behind the PPP. I could tell you the honest truth that, when the PPP came into power and so on, I was seeking a land, and eventually when PPP come into power, I get to gain my land. And not because I only gain my land, is because going and meet a minister, like you're able to meet a minister, and I think that was very lovely of them. I remember even wanted to change my house lot because I did get way back at the places I get. And I went to the time was Sheikh Bash. I went to meet Sheikh Bash, and it was very nice. And I was like, wow, this is nice. He would listen. He had a day, the public day, and whatever. And that is what we did had in the PNC, because I remember going to get a land in the PNC when there was that home stress, when whoever was the housing minister in PNC, I could remember you couldn't even see them. So it was a really shift for me. So I was like, okay, okay. You see, my mindset now, I looking for development and thing. I'm not looking for I gotta stick on a party because of a race or whatever. So I end up anyway, I get a land, but I wanted to change the land. So I meet with Sheikh Bash and so on. And then he gave me a letter, a note or something, till that time was through the king or something, to change my house lot. When I take it to True the King, she was very, very rude, insultive, and all these good stuff, And I was like, then I started thinking. I said, listen, I went to this Indian minister. He was so nice. You'd believe he know me from somewhere, whatever. I went to my own skin color, and she was so rude and carrying on. So she get me running up and down. So I decided to go back to Sheikh Bash. When I go, he was leaving with his vehicle. He was driving out. So I stopped. I stopped. I said, "Oh my, I miss him." Anyway, I said, "Minister," and he stopped the vehicle. And I explained to him. He said, "Okay, he's heading to a meeting, and I must come back whatever day or whatever." So I come back the day. Let me tell you, I went to meet Sheikh Bash. Sheikh Bash get up when I come in. He leave that time. Yes, it was on breakdown. He said, "Come with me." He take me. I didn't even know. Then I know housing had back entrance, because we walk up the back entrance and he go to True the King, and he say, "I give you instructions to change this woman land." And she was like, "How can I execute?" You said, "I don't want to hear it. Change it." No, you mind me. I don't know him. We have no relationship. Nobody give me nothing to send to him to, pass on nothing. Somebody knows nothing. I just went to him. I could tell you even instant that I was there one time in Sheikh Bash office, and a black girl was there. I know her, or I think a family of her. She used to live in Middle Road. She came to Sheikh Bash, and she was pleading for land, and she tells Sheikh Bash she's living in a dark pen. She want to put you in dark pen. And he laughed. He laughed. He said, "Let me tell you, I know you're living in a dark pen, but because you could come to me and give me the story, and he approved Shalan." So that started attracting me to support the PPP, right? It's not because of a race. It's because for me, I see improvement of, helping and whatever. So I start supporting the PPP, support, support, support. So, anyways, the story is so long. I'm trying to you guys understand a Guyanese woman and choice. Yes. So, you know, part two. So, as so that's how I start, leaning to give, PPP my support. Mind you, you know, I open, friends with Indian people, family, everything. And but I, continue giving my support. I, you know, get married to an Indian guy. We make kids together, you know, have breed children and whatever. But with all of that, and then I don't know what happened. I went back supporting PNC, right? Listen, my choice. I went back supporting them and so on. And and the things about it, I live in my in-laws' home, but 4 years, 5 years in an Indian home, and they were full PPP supporters. They know I was a PNC supporters, but nobody had no kind of discussion and no if if somebody going to the rally or whatever to go to the rally or whatever, but come in the home nobody's talking about nothing or nothing, you know. I don't talk anything but PNC and nothing really about in but politics in the home I should say. I had a friend around the corner. Linda's my girl. You know, I used to go and we would chat if we want chat. I keep that out from the home and so on. So, so there's one time, I lean back there and I start leaning back, there and so on. So let me tell you, now raising my children, right? Raising my children had Indian friends. Right now, my son, my eldest son, all his friends, majority of his friends was Indians, right? And they grew up, they're big men, not big old men, but mature now and whatever now in the late 20s, and all of them is still friends. And these boys used to be in my home. So say cook. Sometimes no food are left for me because since my son's friend come, Auntie Diane, we cook today. Everybody eating, everybody eating. I got my next son, his friends is mostly black. You understand? So, I'm just trying to give you a little, I don't know if I even put it in hard or would go, but I just want to give a little feedback. So that's how, it going. So then again, when I remember when my son, my big son, right, common insurance, he get like was four 80 something or 90 something, but it's like 2 marks or something cut off from was cut off from St. Joseph. At the time is when they bring out the thing that if you can get a school, you got to go to your neighborhood school or whatever. So anyway, he had to go Charleston Secondary. That's where they gave him. So with Charleston Secondary, the marks was way down. So I said that's unfair. So I was working. The time I was working at Buddies on Sherry Street, and we're the president at the time. Jack Deere was the president. Jack Deere used to be coming there or whatever. Anyway, I approached Jack Deere and I said, Mr. President, I get a little problem. And he said, what is it? And I explained it to him. I said, I had to explain the marks because he don't know all of that. So he said, no, that's unfair. Anyway, he left to go up, I think, to another department, a restaurant or something. And then he sent his bodyguard, one of them, for my information. And I give the information. Let me tell you, this is a president. I remember like a couple days after I was going to Trinidad, and as I was boarding the plane, I get a call from president office saying I must come to president office. I explained I'm going to Trinidad for a couple of days. He said, when you come back. When I came back and I went to president office, guess what? The letter was already prepared for me. I collect my letter, right? And I collect my letter and I went to the ministry. And I remember when I carried to the ministry, the woman at the Ministry of Education said, oh, you're lucky because you know somebody. I was like, I don't know somebody. My son earned this. But with all I'm saying is that this is how I communicate with, our, this is our, what I should say, this is it. I'm trying to explain, me. As I said, put me on the burner. So that's between how I was, supporting freely, right, to who I want to support. So then I said, that's good. I said, nice, whatever. I have an open mind, and what whatever. So, you know, whatever. Then, I even think I devote a year or I don't I can't remember everything how it goes. As I said, it mightn't be in order because when you're talking and everything is not in order, but I'm just giving you a summary. So I think I went back when I think when was Granger. Yeah, I start supporting PPP and whatever wherever and so on. And let me tell you quickly, in my home I remember in me big son always a PPP. He's always said, "Mommy," and argue, and them thing. My kids, I grow my kids freely to choose freely. I don't say, "Oh, I support in PNC. Yeah, I gotta come up supporting this," and no, it was freely. Everybody was free, So I get six mixed children. Half by the fat Indian, I black, six mixed children. Every one of them choose differently, right? Um, okay. What I should say? Look, look at this. This is one of my grandbabies. See? Okay. Look at this. This is the other. Okay. All right. So now, as you see, is everything is mixed up. So anyway, I was, rallying behind at the time, quickly behind Granger, wherever support used to go to rally or whatever, and so on. Sometime I remember I go to one or two protests. I'm telling you straight up, and so on. And I think after I think I moved away after we had a lot of different thing was going on when Jack Day was in politics that I didn't really like, so I moved away as my rights. And so I decided to support because as a man, I got children. I want a safer society because this is how I choose. I don't choose because of race. I can choose the best interest of my children, right? So I was like, because my kids, I want a safer society and whatever. I think they could bring a safer society, so I put my support there and whatever. So I support them and so on. But after, I see, to me, from after Granger, I say, you know, I'm really out of, supporting anybody because I look at, don't ever get too personal with that because no, I don't want to do that. This is not about that. So for my reason, I say, okay, I ain't supporting that party. I walk away, finish with that, and so on. So, I still got my eye on telling the truth, my old truth. My eye still on the PPP because as much as I said, I ain't going back and vote. I ain't supporting nobody. But, I see things moving and whatever and so on. So I say I'm out of that and, thing. And let me tell you, honestly, um, after like that story with like Andrea Young story and whatever, and I feel to me, I really think the government should make sure we get justice because as for me, I say, listen, I got grandchildren or whatever. It could have been me children, it could have been grandchildren, it could be somebody. So I was like, it really turned me off. I said, well, part three. Yes. So um, I say okay. I was a little disappointed in that area, or whatever, because I was one, asking for justice or whatever as a mother, and I know a lot of parents, feel the same way or whatever. But my old points, and then the win party. As I said, I'm just explaining everything to you because people think that because of a race, you owe somebody your vote. So, as a win party, come up and I say, okay, I throw my support behind them. Because as you see, I'm this person. It's something gonna benefit me. I gonna vote. If I think justice gonna prevail or so on, I'm gonna vote for you. and and so on, or if you're in line with what I like or whatever, but not race. So with all of the, I try to, it's not, as I said, it mightn't go in order or whatever, but, you know, but the thing is about it, what, with all of that, what I'm trying to say is that nobody, I know a particular party because of a race, my vote, no loyalty. I do not owe nobody that. I owe myself, I owe my family, I owe my children, I owe my grandchildren what the best interest for them when I vote or when I support a political party. You understand? That is who I owe loyalty, not a political party. I'm not gonna see a political party and I have to vote for them because of race. And this thing that people are like, no, before I reach there, we are living in Guyana, right? I mean, I ain't in Guyana right now, but we living in Guyana. And it's a multicultural society, right? Everybody mix up. Look what my family. I have one set of grandkids, look black like me, and next it Indian like Indian. So it's like my kids are half black, half Indian. So what what can I say? It's like crazy. We're not living, as I always say, we're not living in Africa, we're not living in India. Yes, in some Indian people, it's be very racial, would say things that, it's really, piss me off because I say, man, you guys have, black people in your party. It's not about an Indian party, and all those things, should move away. Even with the blacks, that's saying the same thing. Is both sides are saying the same thing, which we supposed to move away. We supposed to policy. If you tell me, well, I'm aligned with this party because of this, I'm aligned with this party because I think it corrupt and I keep it this. Yes, but don't tell me you bring that talkings that I owe a political party my vote because of a race. And the funny thing is, what I keep saying, you telling me that this you're supposed to vote by race, but yet this particular political party have other race in your party. So you're making it say it's not a full, party. Like okay, PNC, APNU. I see they have Indian people in the party. So when you gonna tell a next black person the old PNC loyalty, you're making sense because that party have other race and it's an insult to them too. You understand? And the whole thing is it you gotta move away from this old thing about race because this is Guyana we living in. It's a multicultural society. You understand? Nobody going away. The Indians are going away. The black are going away. We have to live. If you say, man, how could you support a party with this policy or with you getting justice or whatever? If you bring that talk to me, we could have a conversation, right? We could have a conversation. But if you bring a talk of racial talk and tell me I owe a party, a particular party because of race or whatever, we can't have the conversation because I owe no political party. As I said, I bounce around because nobody's own me. I'm free. I'm not a slave to nobody. And I tell you, I'm not even a slave to my own race. I'm not. I would not see somebody's not doing nothing for me. The interest of me is not somebody I see just, oh, you don't worth my time because I ain't see no fighting you. I ain't see, you putting in no work. I ain't see you doing that, but because you, it's same color skin or same skin color or same hair texture, I gotta, give you my vote. And this is where we gotta come away from. You gotta earn it. As you say, you know why you see me move here, move because they were earning my vote. Get it? They were earning my vote. So when I put my vote, my X for the PPP is because to earn my vote. When I put the X on the PNC, the APNU, is because they earned my vote at that time. At that time, PPP earned my vote. At that time, APNU earned my vote. You have to earn my vote. Don't come and tell me because of my color of my skin or the texture of my ear, I have no loyalty to a political party. I have no loyalty to no political party. None at all. None. None. I have loyalty to my kids, to myself. I have loyalty to no political party. I have loyalty to my home. I have loyalty to see the best interest for my kids, right? My future. And then the next thing, I hear people say something. Let me quickly clap on that. That money, oh, money is evil. I can't see because of money people vote. Excuse me. That is why people vote, because for a better life that suits them. That is why people vote. So you can't tell me because of money make can't see money make people do this and do that. People vote for the best interest of them. Just like how somebody else can seek a job, they would move from a job to a job, get a better job, improve themselves, improve the education and everything so they could earn a better job. Is it that selfish of you? Wanted to improve yourself or wanted to make more money? So why if you see somebody decided, their own interests, right? They decide, okay, I can support this party because of their own interests. I don't feel it's right for nobody going around and criticizing nobody for their choice because of their interest. That's their interest. Even if I don't like it, I have family that is PPP right now. I'm not supporting PPP. And when I say family, family, very close, blood, 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 starting from my son, right? So, and I'm not. But that's my right. And their choice is their choice. You understand? So do not stop telling people, oh, you owe this body vote because of your color of your skin. In this society, in this year, when the all, mix everybody's entangled and entanglement relationship and all of that. How they're working out. This is why I want to know how it would work out. So when, okay, the blacks go to India, what happened to the mixed race? What happened? What happened with the Amerindians? What happened with the little Portuguese we had at the Guyanese, Chinese, whatever? So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Your choice is your choice, right? Your choice is your choice. I cannot like the same thing, or I cannot choose the same thing. Your choice of men wouldn't be my choice of men. You understand? The type of men you would choose one mightn't be the type of man I would choose. I would never. I would look. Whatever. But that's your choice. So why you think your choice of political, choice, political party, whatever, should be my choice? That you should force that down on me. I want nobody to force nothing on me. I owe nobody loyalty, not a party, not a political party. If next election if I see a candidate for PPP win APNU and I see there's the best interest for me and my family, I support at that time. But that don't mean I die there. My neighbors drink berry there. Anyway, this is it. I never go part again. So this is your girl D, just trying to give you a little so clock it with your girl D. And don't forget to like, comment, and follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're watching me on. Anyway, have a good one on purpose with a purpose. Hi guys, this is your girl D, and you know what I mean. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let's clock that tick.